You don't have a relationship problem. You have a pattern problem that keeps showing up inside your relationships. And most of the time, you don't even see it. See, we function on 75 to 85% autopilot. Comment pattern if you've ever been caught yourself reacting in a way that didn't match who you actually want to be, because this is where it gets real. Most people think their life is shaped by what happens to them. It's not. Your life is shaped by what you consistently focus on. And that version of you is what focus creates. And if you don't slow down long enough to actually see how you're showing up, you will keep repeating the exact same cycles and patterns, just with different people, different situations, and the exact same outcomes. I live this. High stress, fast reaction, sharp tone, always on edge. I could be fun, loving, but I was never fully present. And the second pressure hit, that version of me disappeared. And what took over instead was short, aggressive, reactive. Not because I wanted to hurt people, but because that was the pattern that was running underneath everything. And I was totally unaware what was causing it. And here's the part most people don't want to admit. That version of me didn't just affect a few bad moments. It shaped my entire life, my relationships with my dad, almost gone. My connection with my daughter, strained beyond belief. My brothers, distant. And while I was still telling myself I was handling things, I was actually declining. Health declines, freedom declines, peace declines, relationships breaking down slowly over time. And I couldn't see it clearly at first because I was too busy reacting inside my own life with my own stories, assumptions, and expectations. So here's the truth that you really need to hear. You are not experiencing life. You are experiencing the life that you focus on. And that focus shows up as patterns. Patterns in how you think, patterns in how you're feeling, patterns in how you're acting. And those patterns are either depositing into your life or they are withdrawing you from it every single day. So let's talk about the deposits and the withdrawals in a way most people never look at it. A deposit isn't just doing something good. A deposit is any thought, feeling, or action that moves you closer to who you actually want to be in any relationship. A withdrawal isn't just a mistake. A withdrawal is any pattern that pulls you further away from that version. So when you snap, when you are short fused, when you become aggressive and defensive, that's not just a moment. That is a withdrawal. When you shut down instead of speaking clearly, that's a withdrawal. When you avoid instead of addressing something, withdraw. And here's where people get stuck. They try to change the behavior without identifying the pattern that's driving it. And you hear Dr. Phil McGraw say, you cannot change that which you do not acknowledge. That's why it doesn't last, because behavior is on the surface. The patterns are under the surface and are the root. So the real work starts with one question most people never ask. Who am I being right now? And is that who I actually want to be, especially when stress hits? Not who you say you are, not who you hope to be, who you are being in the real moment right now. Under pressure, under stress, under strain. In conversations, in conflict, and in silence. Because that's the version of you that's creating your life. And if you don't like what's showing up around you, you need to look at what's showing up within you. This is where awareness changes everything. Now I have to be clear, awareness is not power. Action in the awareness is where the power comes in. So awareness alone is not enough. A lot of people become aware and they stay stuck. I know because I've done it. I know because I've reacted like that. I know because I've been triggered and not caught it. But nothing changes. And why? Because awareness without direction, awareness without action just creates frustration. So once you see the pattern, you need to interrupt it. Not someday, not when it's convenient, because it's never going to be, in the moment. And this is where your power actually is, and this is where your personal power can shine. Not in controlling everything around you, like I tried, but in choosing how you do respond within that situation. That's the shift that changed everything for me. I stopped trying to control other people. I stopped trying to control the outcomes. And I started focusing on what could I actually control. my own thoughts, my own feelings, and my own actions. And it starts with physiology. And most importantly, the meaning I was giving to what was happening around me, because meanings drive reaction. If you believe something is an attack, you react defensively. If you believe something is a problem, you react with stress. If you believe something is an opportunity to understand, you respond curious. You respond differently to the exact same situation. So different meanings give different outcomes because it impacts how we're thinking, feeling, and acting. So here's the practical shift. When you feel yourself about to react, stop, pause. Not for an hour, not for a day. Well, if you have to, you could, but for a breath. 3 specifically can shift. And ask yourself one question. What am I about to deposit right now? Who do I want to be in this moment? Because that question interrupts the patterns. It pulls you out of the autopilot and it gives you a choice, a real one. Do I deposit patience here or do I withdraw in frustration? Do I deposit with clarity or do I withdraw in avoidance? Do I deposit connection and understanding? Or do I withdraw? This micro momentum, small moments repeated consistently, that's what changes everything. And here's what happens when you actually start doing this. Your relationships shift, not because other people suddenly change, but because you do. You become someone people can feel safe with, clear with, connect to, and that changes how they show up too. So if you want to learn more about these pattern shifts, comment pattern, because this is how my relationships started to repair, not overnight, not perfectly, but consistently, and one moment at a time, one choice at a time, one awareness in the moment at a time, and over time. Everything that felt broken started to rebuild and repair because I wasn't reacting the same way anymore. I wasn't feeding the same patterns anymore. I was creating something different. And you can do the same, but you have to be willing to see it first, to actually look at how you're showing up without justifying it, without blame, without brushing it off, and without justifying that this is just how life is or this is just how they are. Just seeing it clearly and then choosing differently. So here's your micro momentum for today. One moment, that's it. The next time you feel yourself about to react, pause, take some slow, deep breaths and ask, who do I want to be in this moment? Do I want to be sharp, aggressive, and attacking? Or do I want to be curious, ask questions, and understand better so I can respond better? Not perfectly, just intentionally. That's where everything starts to change. And if you're ready to go deeper into this, especially in your relationships, all relationships, not just with your partner, I have a 14-day relationship deep connection series inside my community. Jump in. It's there for you to tap into. You can still shift this at any time you choose. And if you want to do it faster, deeper transformation is also available through a path called my 5-week relationship reset. But either way, start with one moment because the life you experience next is being created by the version of you that shows up in this one. Check out the links in the description. Come join us inside of Thrive, Rise, and Empower community. The community itself is free. The 14-day Relationship Deeper Connection series is also free inside the classroom. Jump in the link below. Come join us. I can't wait to see you on the inside.